I'm going to do some drum talk. As you can see in the description, I got another drum, another beautiful Earl export, ELX. This is the 10-inch tom, the match for my 5-piece kit. Configuration 12, 13, 16, 22, with the matching 14-inch snare. During my drum search online, I came across the 10-inch tom. Needs a new head. I got a new head coming in. The batter head is the original Earl, and it shows a couple of dents, but no big deal. The head's still in good shape. The batter head was trash, so I've got a new coated head coming in for that. This drum right here was just under 100 chipped. And it has a couple of little marks. It's not perfect. It has a couple of little marks here. Little mark here. But it's okay. It's still in very, very good condition. No rust. You always want to keep your drums put in a bag. The bags are worth the investment. It'll keep them safe, clean. So, Earl Bennett is one of my favorite YouTube channels. He is a drummer, a very good drummer, and he really speaks my language. He's done a lot of stories behind the gear, kind of like what I do here, talking about drum gear. This is Drum Talk. We talk drum gear. We can compare and learn. And he does some good, interesting talks talking about his cymbals. And he gave me an idea because I haven't done a cymbal talk in quite a while. And I want to try and make this brief, but I'm going to give a history of where I'm at today, because when I first started to now, there's really a huge difference. You know, of course, I'm a way better drummer now, and I've been playing on these different cymbals, and I got a really good idea about what cymbals I like as of now. And going back to the beginning, way in the beginning, before I even got my first drum kit, my parents sent me to music camp, and it was great. It was absolutely fantastic. It was my band teacher from school, and they did like the steel drum thing there. And in the steel drum thing, they had a Pearl 5-piece kit. Back when I was in jazz band, she let me get on the drums a couple of times, but I actually started on the saxophone. Fool around on the drums after class, and she heard it, and she's like, wow, you know, you're pretty good. Have you thought about maybe playing drums? And I'm like, I don't know, you know, I don't have any way to get them. You know, I'm just a kid at this point. And she's like, you know, you can get a whole 5-piece drum set with the cymbals and everything. Probably cost you $1,000. And to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, that's a lot of money. It's not going to happen. Of course, it didn't happen anytime soon. But I got my first playing on a Pearl kit. It was deep blue. I believe it was a export. It could have been a Pearl Forum. I'm not sure. But it had Zildjian A-series cymbals. And I remember that clearly. an A Zildjian New Beat hi-hats, 14-inch. And I think it had a crash ride. And that was it. I mean, that was it. So I knew, and after playing these hats, that, like, yeah, okay, these are nice hats. These are quality hats. And she kind of helped me out, showed me how to hold the sticks. And she was like, don't hit the side of the hi-hats, hit the top of the hi-hats. Hit the tip of the stick on the top of the hi-hats. That's how you get the most clean sound. And I remember playing that way, and I played on those hats, and I'm like, yeah, Zildjian A series, okay. So when I first got my first kit, this was probably back in '96. I got an old used Rogers 5-piece in white, and this kit actually came with a set of the old Zildjian New Beats with the hollow logo and a 20-inch Crash Ride A series. And I played on these cymbals for a long time until about right around 2004 when I finally got my first new kit. This Pearl export, I had my old hats and 20-inch Crash Ride, but then I got to a point I needed to buy some crashes. I didn't have any crashes. So the very first cymbal that I bought was a A-series Zildjian 10-inch Splash. Put it on the old cymbal stand that came with the Rogers. It was very old, but it held that little cymbal, no problem. Bought 2 new cymbal stands, and my first set of crashes were a 16 and an 18-inch medium crash. Zildjian A series. Why did I get mediums? I don't know. I don't really know. But that's what I started with at first. Now this was before the internet. This was back when you used to get your musician's friend catalog, and what you would see is what you would get. Like, that's all you would get. Sometimes they would throw you a catalog with dedicated to more drum gear, but it was all just by magazine. There wasn't no internet, and there was no music stores around either. So it wasn't like I could go look at some used cymbals. It was buy a set of new ones. And learning about cymbals, I figured out, well, shit, man, there's thin crashes, there's medium thins, mediums, rock crashes, there's heavy crashes, there's paper thin. I mean, there's a lot, and different sizes. Long story short, I ended up going to a music store, sold the mediums on consignment, and picked up a set of thins. Now, the A-series thins were awesome. They were awesome. I got 16 and an 18, and absolutely loved those cymbals. Because I even had the 14, because I bought it before. So I had a 14, 16, and an 18 thin. Was I satisfied with that? No. Then I decided, you know what, I'm going to consign the thins. I'm going to order some medium thins. And I got those medium thins in. And the medium thins were beautiful. I mean, perfect. Perfect pitch. It was like not too high, not too low. Like the mediums were really bright and bold and loud. And the thins were a little darker and a little washier. And well, the medium thins were just beautiful sounding crashes. So I got them. And I still got them today. I'm rocking with these 16, 18-inch medium thin crash. And fast forwarding today, really, maybe a year ago, say 2022, I have the internet and a computer, and I had discovered that you can find used cymbals all over the place. That was it. I had never bought another new cymbal again. Like, no way. There's no way I need to do that, because there is some great used cymbals for like half off. Good cymbals, even new ones, you know. The new Zildjians have the big A. You can find the big A, the small A. You can find the Zildjians from back before they were putting the A on it, like back in the 80s. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to start collecting some cymbals. Because I've been playing drums now 20 years at this point. And I'm like, okay, there's the internet, there's used cymbals galore. I don't have to just settle for what I got. I can't exactly go to a music store where they're going to have all these things so I can try them, so I can hear them. But I can get these things in. So I started shopping used cymbals. I just started picking. But I would pick strategically. I would pick only the cymbals that were Zildjian, also Sabian. But I really stuck to Zildjian. I've always been a Zildjian guy. Sabian's good cymbals too. Dave Abraziz played on some Sabians, and I have a few Sabians, but Zildjian mostly. Of course, the other Pisces, the next biggest company. But anyways, going back, I just start picking. I start going through. I'm like, okay, stick with Zildjians. And I'm looking. And I'm looking. And I'm like, well, first of all, I got these A's. I've had a lot of A's. I had the mediums, the thins. I actually did buy a couple more thins that I sold. I got the medium thins. I got the A's. I've had a bunch of 10-inch splashes, A's. So I did end up getting an 8-inch A splash. And I was looking at the fast crashes, because there was a guy who turned me on to them a long time ago. Back when they first came out, he was a drummer for a church, and I was talking to him, and he was telling me about, hey, you know, there's a new kind of cymbal that came out. It might be something you'd really like. It's called a fast crash. You hit it, it's very thin. It's like a thin crash. It's very thin, and it speaks. It opens up quickly, and it has a quick decay. And the volume obviously is not so loud because it's a thin cymbal. So I thought, okay, you know what? Did I have in my mind that I was going to get K customs? No, I didn't. But there was so many K customs online. I actually bought my first 14-inch K custom fast for like $110. So I had this 14-inch, and I'm looking to see if I can get more of those in this series so I can have a set. And there was every size, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I just went and picked out used, the ones that looked clean, that still had the dark stamping on it. And I acquired a whole bunch of these K custom fast crashes, and they're absolutely wonderful. And I also have a set of Zildjian A series fast crashes, because I found a 14. You find a lot of 14s used online. You don't find many 19s and 20s. A lot of 14s, 16s. You can find some 18s, 16 and 18s, a lot of 14s. So I really just got the 14-inch, tried it. Then I got the 16. And I ended up acquiring just a big collection of these K-Custom fast crashes. I got A-series fast crashes. I've got the AA, El Sabor, Sabian 16 and 18-inch crash set, and another set of Zildjian K Dark Thens 16 and 18. So I figured out the thing to do here is you get a cymbal. Like, you come up on a 14 or a 16-inch cymbal, and if you like it, look for its partner. If it's a 14, get a 16, the same to go with that. Like the 16, look for the 18. Now you have a set of cymbal, and then you can just pair these crashes up with whatever ride and hats you choose. So now I've got a lot of rides. Really, my favorite ride is the Zildjian A series, the Ping ride. I've got the 22, and it's a beast. It's a badass ride, but I really like the 20. Just the 20, especially if I'm gigging. I found that gigging, I want smaller cymbals. I'm never going to take a 24-inch ride anywhere. Unless it's a permanent setup, I'm never going to take that anywhere. And even the 22s are a little big. So traveling, it's going to be a 20-inch ride. And when it comes to crashes, I am actually, right now, believe it or not, am gigging with a set of 14 and 16-inch fast crashes. Those are my crashes when I play out. With the 20-inch Ping ride. And I have come up on a really nice old school Zildjian A series rock hats. They were $120 shipped. The bottom hat was perfectly clean. The top hat pretty dirty from a lot of use. And they're absolutely perfect. So my fate just so happened to be it that I use the rock hats when I gig. Of course, I've got the A custom 14-inch hats, the A series 13-inch new beats, 15-inch new beats, and the AAX, AA Metal X Sabian 14-inch hats that go with a 24-inch rod, which I put them up. The big cymbals, to me, I don't like to play on them. Only at a certain point. I mean, if I was lucky enough to play a big venue with hundreds of people in this big venue, I would bring out my larger cymbals. But any of these little club gigs we do, really like a 13-inch hat, 14-inch hat, if not a 13, 20-inch ride, perfect. But those 14 and 16-inch crashes, That 16-inch crash will get you through. If you hit it lightly, it can produce kind of a darker tone, and that 14, if you really smack it hard, it produces just a extremely cutting high pitch that I love. I actually love the sound of a 14. But these smaller cymbals are easier to get around. They're fast crashes, so they're thin, they're light, and they're not going to project everybody out of the room, you know? You got to think about not bringing medium or rock crashes that are 18 and 20 inches to a little club. It's going to be way too much firepower, you know? So you bring smaller cymbals that are thin, much better for a smaller club. And I think that's about it, you know? Really just, I love those thin or fast crashes. Love them, love them. If I'm playing an outdoor festival or something like that, oh yeah, I'll bring medium thins. But for those small club type gigs, thins, fast crashes, small 14, 16. Love the 13-inch hi-hats. Just love them. And have a lot of cymbal bags. Don't try cramming all your cymbals in one bag. Have one bag for a set of hats in a ride. If you got another set of hats in a ride, get another bag for that. I have like 3 hard cases and 5 bags. And what you want to do is you have a set. You know, you find that 16 that you like. Look for the 18 in the same year. You'll know what you're looking for. Then you have a set. 2 crashes. Put those in one bag. You'll have another set of a different cut. Put those in another bag. And have a collection. Do I want to buy any more cymbals? No. I have more cymbals than I'll ever need. And really, I'm content. It didn't take long. It only took a couple of years of collecting. Getting one, finding its brother, getting this one, trying that one, selling these ones. Couple of years getting more cymbal bags and putting sets together. And now I got really nice collection. It's all about cymbals. Your cymbal work is going to set you apart from the other drummers. So if you made it this far, you guys are awesome. You love drum talk. You are obsessed with it just as much as me. And that's pretty much where I'm at. And I hope you subscribe. We got more content coming up. And I want another shout out to Earl Bennett. Really great guy. Check his channel out and subscribe to him. He does a lot of great covers and a lot of good drum talk. So keep drumming and we'll see you soon.